And David, I wanted to ask you kind of about some of those laws, because Maine does not have strong laws against gun violence. They don't have a red flag law, for example, and despite this gunman's mental health struggles being well known to both his managers and his family, nothing was done to take his guns away. What's your biggest takeaway from this particular case, and what can be done to stop something like this moving forward in a state like Maine?
My biggest takeaway is that we need Democrats who act with courage, that not only say that they're going to act on this issue, but actually act on it when they say that they care about it. I was in Maine just about 4 years ago when they passed that yellow flag law. I remember talking with state legislators about why they needed to have a stronger law, why a yellow flag law was not enough. And time again, I heard something along the lines of, well, this is Maine, we aren't like other states. This just doesn't really happen here. But now, unfortunately, it has, and now people are dead because of that. I'm actually in Virginia right now campaigning to help elect a gun safety majority in the state legislature, because in Maine, they don't have a state legislature race this year, but in Virginia, they do. And it's coming up in the next week. So if you are in Virginia, vote. You can change this issue. Vote on November 7th, Tuesday, just coming up, and make sure you vote for people who are not backed by the NRA and the Guns Over People party, that want to actually protect everyday people. Jen, I was just talking to a state delegate here who is working on Cole's Law, a law that was created after a 4-year-old. A 4-year-old picked up a gun in an at-home daycare and unfortunately died in an unintentional shooting. These are preventable deaths that we can avoid. Unfortunately, in Virginia right now, there is no law that requires daycares to make sure if they're at home that they don't leave their guns out, for example. These are common sense things that don't threaten any irresponsible gun owner in the first place. The reality is, if you threaten to shoot up a high school, or if you leave a gun out by a child, you should be held accountable for that, because that is not responsible gun ownership. That is irresponsible salesmanship practices that the NRA and so many industries have been pushing for. But vote November 7th if you're in Virginia.